This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by DistroKid. Get your music out to the world. Hey everybody, how's it going? So about a week and a half ago, I did that video of 15-year-old bass strings versus brand new ones, and it did pretty well. It got a lot of feedback, and what should come as no surprise to anybody, it got a lot of hate comments from those cheap bastards, the bass players. Let her rip. So yeah, what I've done here for this episode is I've collected a bunch of comments that I thought were just beyond belief in one way or another, because seriously, normal people can't think this shit up. This stuff comes right from the bass players.
You just like to shit on bass players, don't you? Because every video I be seen with you and you always find something to say.
Well, it's because you guys keep writing my scripts for me. I mean, what the fuck was that? Have you ever even seen it in an English textbook? Comprehension, literacy, they're a thing, try them.
I can't hear the difference, I'm a bass player.
Big surprise there.
Too bad he was using a pick the whole time, shame.
Dude, as an engineer and producer, okay, I don't give a fuck if somebody picks or somebody uses his finger style, that doesn't matter. What I care about is it in tune, and is it on time, and it is a clear signal. That's the important thing. A bass player can have a style, that's fine. Using a pick is perfectly fine. Using your fingers is perfectly fine. That comes up to personal choice. I've got no issue with that whatsoever. But dude, when you get all snobby about that, believe me, you are not helping your cause in trying to convince people that bass players are actually intelligent.
I like the old strings better than the new ones, but saying that a person like me is what's wrong with music these days when you know it's not true, old string lovers can't be worse than auto-tune or formulaic music, for example. Well, this was too much. I will never watch your videos again. And this comes from someone who laughed hard at all your bassist jokes because I got them. See you never again. Oh, and I know I don't make any difference to your more than 200,000 subscribers. Don't bother telling me that. Cheers.
Dude, seriously, take your tampon out and have a Midol. Chill.
Just turn the highs up on the amp.
Okay, I already said that in the video, but apparently I have to explain it again. When you have really dead bass strings on, you can't turn the highs up on the amp because there's nothing to turn up. It's not there. It's non-existent. All you're going to do is add noise. Now, I don't know if anybody ever explained this to you, but the first thing I ever learned in audio class was an equalizer is just a shitty amplifier for a certain frequency band. So when you turn up the treble to bring up the highs that aren't there, all you're going to be doing is adding noise into your signal. Pay attention.
Yeah, say that to James Jamerson, dirtface.
Oh, okay. Where do we start with this one? Now, this is a metal production channel. Always has been. Always will be. And I specifically said in the video, if you're doing metal tracks, you want to put new strings on, okay? If I said you're playing jazz, maybe you want some older stuff that's a little more broken in. You know, where the fuck did I ever mention Motown and how new strings would be applicable to that? Can somebody clue me in? Did I say that somewhere in a fucking video? Did I ever even mention Motown on one single show in the entire history of this fucking channel? No? Again, bass players, please try to pay attention. There, did I say that slowly enough? Hey everybody, this episode is proudly sponsored by DistroKid, which is the service that gets your music out to multiple online retailers like iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and Spotify, plus over 150 smaller online music retailers as well. It only costs $20 a year and you keep 100% of your earnings. Now they've got some new features exclusive to DistroKid, including instant verification on Spotify and change your image on Apple Music/iTunes. They are the only distributor with this feature. The new Teams function allows you to split your earnings automatically among your bandmates, and a cover song license will only cost you $12 a year. The upcoming band pages will be free to anyone, including non-DistroKid members. Set up a page and DistroKid will automatically populate a link list to everywhere your music is sold. There's even a text your fans paid feature coming to keep your fans updated on everything happening with your project. DistroKid is what I use for my own stuff, and if you've got a band, I highly recommend grabbing a membership. Check it out at distrokid.com/VIP/Spectre and get yourself a 7% discount as well. Follow the link in the description below. Now back to the show.
I don't understand why liking the old strings better for their dead tone is bad. Less top end, less sustain, etc. Those are musical choices for the band to make. Sure, typical metal bands want a typical metal tone, including bass tone. But so what if they want something different? That's the band's choice.
Okay, once again, I'm going to have to use my slow voice so even the bass players can understand us. The reason we change our strings out for metal is because old strings don't fucking work! You heard the fucking results. You heard the mix. I A-B'd the two. One sounded fine. The other sounded like shit in a metal context. You talk about the band's choice. You know what? I'm happy if they choose to show up on time and choose to remember where the fuck the studio is. Okay, that's a win in my book, okay? But when it comes to things like that, the producer's there to keep the band from making stupid choices.
Fuck off. Have you ever heard Flea?
Yes, I have. Flea's an outstanding bass player. Have you ever heard of English classes? Please, take one.
Wait, so the oldest shit bass strings on this cheap as fuck bass all belong to your friend who fancies himself a guitar player. Yet it's bassists who should get ridiculed. You guys are fucking dumb.
Once again, not fucking paying attention. Yes, it's a 15-year-old bass that we used with 15-year-old strings that never got touched. Why? Because that's a typical situation. Because the bass players you guys keep bringing into my studio and studios all around the world are playing pretty much on the exact same thing. An old piece of shit with old shitty fucking strings, and then they wonder why they don't sound like the fucking Black Album when you hit record.
Bassists here. Bassists that don't change their strings always strike me as fucking posers. Take care of your instrument. Take pride in your tone.
Jeff, I love your philosophy, and I couldn't agree more, and I think if we had more bass players like that, I would have a lot less to rant and rave about on this show. You, sir, deserve a gold star. Take it easy.
The old ones sound better. Nah, just kidding. I'm not a bass player. The mix, at least on my phone, sounds very modern metal generic for me. The bass is barely audible, and when you hear the bass, I can't hear the low sound, just the strings being it. Probably it's my phone, but that's what I hear. It's just an observation.
Okay, well, allow me to make an observation. This, folks, all you kids in recording school, pay attention. This is the bullshit you are up against. This is what you're going to have to deal with. Handing clients mixes and go, oh, I can't hear any bass on the phone. It's because it's a fucking phone speaker. It's 10 times bigger than the size of your dick. It's about that fucking big. It's incapable of producing low fucking frequencies. Fuck, if you want to listen to bass, go listen on full range speakers. What the fuck?
I'm a bassist. I'm often too broke to change strings as often as I would like to. I'm disabled, so money can be hard to come by. Having said that, I would never think of going into the studio with old strings. Why would anyone do that? Wouldn't you want the best sound for your recordings?
Well, hey, Tom, I really appreciate the comment. I'm very sorry you have to deal with a disability. That fucking sucks, buddy. This is my whole philosophy. If you're gonna make a record, don't fucking shoot yourself in the foot before you even walk in the fucking studio. You know, get your instrument sounding the best it possibly can, and that means put some new strings on. Anyway, thanks again for the comment. Hit me up in the private messages. I'm going to see about sending you some bass strings, so that's one less financial worry you have to worry about. Take care, man. All right, that's it for this episode, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hitting that subscribe button. Keep those comments and questions coming, and I am going to follow up this video in another week or two. I've been doing some more experimentation behind the scenes when it comes to old bass strings. I think you guys are going to like the results because I certainly raised a few eyebrows in the studio here with what I did. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, before I leave, make sure you get your band on DistroKid and get your music out to the world and get your cover song licenses through them as well. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Take it easy. I'm out of here.